One of my favorite teenage memories is with my dorm buddies crowded around a tiny 16-inch CRT TV playing Xbox, trying not to get caught by the dorm monitor. So seeing the recent resetting Xbox announcement makes me really sad. I don't hate the Xbox of today, but I do think they forgot what makes people love them in the first place. Here's a quick screenshot of the full announcement. Feel free to pause and read it. I've also provided a link below. So how did the company that made some of my favorite core memories end up here? Xbox's crisis is not just financial. It is a fundamental failure of its mission and its theory of business. Today's video will be a case analysis on the current state of Xbox, why the CEO's decisions are kind of missing the point, and how to actually save the beloved console. Let's dive in. For years, Xbox attempted to buy its way into industry dominance, cultivating mass by buying up all the studios like Bethesda for $7.5 billion and Activision for $69 billion. Nice. Despite these massive investments in studios, the company still found that for every dollar they invested, they only earned about 64 cents in return. To compensate for all this cash burn, Xbox had to raise their prices by over 50% to their already failing Game Pass subscription model back in 2025, which only accelerated its demise. And on top of all this, we are currently enduring the most severe hardware crisis in history, and there's no meaningful supply chain relief projected till at least 2028. Faced with the turbulent times of a shrinking player base, collapsing margins, and skyrocketing hardware costs, Xbox had no choice but to initiate a massive reset, eliminating 3,200 positions in the company. But layoffs alone aren't going to fix this disease. According to Peter Drucker, a valid theory of business requires a perfect fit between the assumptions about the environment, the specific mission of the organization, and its core competencies. Xbox had a theory of business: build up the ecosystem, scale up Game Pass, buy up studios, and win by being everywhere. The problem is this theory stopped matching reality because it shifted focus away from the customer's actual experiences. And the root of this problem is Xbox's mission statement. Let's take a look at the original mission at launch back in 2001, to redefine how people think about and play video games. That focus was external, on the customer's experience. It was a mission that demanded great gaming experiences, which in turn cultivated die-hard fans and enthusiasts. However, the current 2026 updated mission statement is Xbox will be where the world plays and creates. This focus is entirely inward. It measures the results not by the experience delivered to the customer, but by growth and internal metrics, such as units sold, subscriber counts, platform lock-ins, market share, etc., etc. Drucker warns that inside an organization, there are only cost centers. Results exist on the outside. By defining success as the sheer scale of the ecosystem rather than the quality of the experience, Xbox engaged with what can only be defined as growth without value. Their inward focus resulted in catastrophic organizational bloat. Because the goal was volume rather than quality, Xbox integrated all the studios that they bought poorly, creating a bureaucratic labyrinth where work passed through as many as 14 layers of middle management. Can you imagine that? Having 14 bosses around? Did you get the TPS reports? Teams grew 40% larger even as the player base shrank. Instead of empowering their knowledge workers, aka the developers and the creators, Xbox created this archaic command and control hierarchy that stifled innovation and separated the actual makers from the gamers. Xbox shifted from an institution that created value for people into this bloated bureaucracy that extracted value from people. To survive, Xbox cannot simply downsize. It must completely overhaul its theory of business and restructure its operations around delivering external value to the customer. Here's what Drucker would probably tell Xbox to look at. 1. Adopt a customer-centric mission statement. Xbox has to formally discard its current internally focused mission. But what should this new mission be? It's hard to say without knowing all the internal details because this mission must be based on core competencies. However, My recommendation would be something like to transcend gaming into immersive experiences that move you. Imagine if Xbox dedicated all its resources and attention into creating gaming experiences that made you feel more alive than any movie or show ever could. Now, I can't guarantee that this new mission statement will save Xbox, but I can guarantee that being dedicated to the customer experience will not fail. And I'm not saying this just because it sounds good. My proposed mission shifts the organization's purpose from internal to external. Drucker teaches that an organization's mission defines what the organization considers to be meaningful results. The mission of transcending gaming into immersive experiences that move you would define meaningful results as the emotional impact and quality of the experience they deliver to the customer. So every subsequent management decision will naturally prioritize the customer's desire for quality over the corporate desire for live service monetization. 2. Execute systematic abandonment. Drucker insists that organizations must regularly ask, if we weren't already doing this today, would we start doing it tomorrow? Now, CEO Sharma has already begun this process by divesting from the various studios, giving them back their original independence with their own IPs. But moving forward, Xbox has to aggressively evaluate this live service and never-ending games model. We have to abandon the projects that do not serve the new customer-centric mission. Keep in mind, the goal of systematic abandonment is to free up resources, not to dispose of people. Management needs to redirect its best talent and capital away from patching up failing models and towards the creative opportunities that will redefine the Xbox brand in the eyes of the consumer. 3. Flatten the hierarchies to empower the makers. Drucker emphasized that modern knowledge workers cannot be managed like assembly line cogs. They must be organized into highly focused, responsible teams. The 14 layers of middle management at Xbox paralyzed decision-making and blurred accountability. The CEO's decision to reduce management to a maximum of 5 layers and to build the organization around the creative makers is a textbook Drucker move. But they have to make sure not to lose sight of the goal of this newly flattened organization. We have to make sure all these teams remain economically accountable while possessing the creative freedom to build incredible gaming experiences for the customer. So what if Xbox successfully implemented all these changes? What if they dedicated themselves towards creating a console that provided the most immersive and moving experiences known to man? First, they will likely survive the current hardware crisis. With the current RAM prices the way that they are, Xbox cannot rely on cheap hardware to acquire customers. The only way someone is going to justify spending $500 on a Series S or $800 on a Series X is if the gaming experiences on those consoles are absolute undeniable must-plays. By shifting away from live service filler to high-quality, emotionally resonant gaming experiences, Xbox provides the indispensable value required to sell hardware in this turbulent environment. Second, the relationship with the customer will likely transform. When an organization shifts away from extracting value over to delivering it instead, it stops being this growth-focused cancer and returns back to being a beloved institution. The hardcore gamers who felt abandoned by this play-everywhere corporate ecosystem strategy will likely return when they see that Xbox is consistently delivering products that respect their time, intelligence, and dignity. Finally, by flattening the hierarchy and organizing as a true team of equals, the internal culture of Xbox will likely heal. The creatives who joined Xbox because they love the industry will no longer be suffocated by 14 layers of middle management. They will begin to operate as tennis doubles teams, as Drucker liked to describe it, which means small, flexible, and highly attuned to each other's strengths, which allows them to become capable of true innovation. Xbox's crisis was caused by power without responsibility and growth without value. By embracing a mission focused entirely on the customer's experience, practicing systematic abandonment of failing models, and empowering its knowledge workers, Xbox can return back to being the beloved console we once knew. While the road through the hardware crisis is going to be painful, Xbox dedicating itself to the mission of delivering value to the gamer is really the only guaranteed path back to cultural relevance and sustainable profitability. So what do you think? Do you agree that Xbox's core problem is their mission statement? How would you recommend the console save itself? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. If this video helps you better understand what management is truly about, please subscribe. This is exactly what this channel is here to do. And I know this is a long shot, but I'd love to get this message to the good folks at Xbox. If you share this video around or even tag them below, it would really help a lot. It's your efforts that help Drucker's teachings get where they are needed the most. As always, thank you so much for your time and attention. I'll see you in the next one.